You can be the change. You can be the change. You can be
Welcome.
the change.
We're at the True Life Teen Podcast tonight, and we are with Anna Bright, Josh Neese, Mr. Michael Barone, and myself, Carrie Migalski. And we are going to talk about what the heck is roller chair ball, because I would really like to know what all the fuss is about. So we're here tonight, and we're going to find out some really fun things that have been going on with roller chair ball.
Now, you guys are both new to roller chair ball, so let's start over there with Anna. And what are your impressions of the game in general?
I love the game. So much fun. It's easy to be. I've always been a very, not violent person, but I'm aggressive when it comes to sports. So it's easy for me to be like aggressive, but still then not hurt anybody because we're in chairs.
Right.
And it's really fun. You get to do a lot of like teamwork and really fun game. I love it.
So if I have aggressiveness that I have to unload and take out on any of my children, I should bring them in to the roller chair, and then they have to be opponents to me, right? This way I could just smash my chair into them, or what? Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, that's called a ram and slam.
A ram and slam?
And if the ram and slam happens, you'll often hear the referee say something like, "Control your horses." So it's not bumper chairs, it's roller chair ball.
Roller chair ball.
But it does happen. Incidental contact does happen, and that's just part of the game. Josh, what are your thoughts on the game?
Just started recently, and I think it is very fun, very well balanced. People with height or not height can easily make up for it with teamwork.
So would you call it a skill game or an asset game? I guess it is an ass-sit game, but is it an asset game?
I'd say it's a bit of both, because you gotta know when to do what. You gotta be able to think of how you want to do stuff and how to get past people and how to avoid getting tapped out.
Very nice.
Do you have to be a well-rounded person to play?
No. You can play with anyone. You just gotta think.
Do you have to be well-balanced?
Slightly. The horse does most of the balancing, but you gotta stay on the horse.
Okay.
Okay, now for the folks at home that wouldn't be aware of what that's about, the roller chair ball chairs that we're sitting in right now, these are called horses. So you usually refer to your chair as a horse. And if you are a legend in the game, or if you've won so many games, you're allowed to name your horse. Little traditions that kind of go along with that. And this is a whole new stable of brand new horses, so we really haven't named any of them yet. And that may come along as part of the tradition of the Roller Chair Ball League that's going on here at St. Joan of Arc. I've got a quick question about the violence of the game. Have you seen any blood or guts lately from the violent action, especially savage players like to your right there, Anna? Right.
Well, I haven't seen any blood or gut yet, but I have heard a couple stories, one of which ended up with her being sent to jail.
Oh.
Yep. There's the legendary story of where she ripped that one guy's windpipe out and then stomped on it, and then stuck it back in.
We have to bring that up.
Well, you know, this is fairness in journalism. I think we need to be balanced. Yeah, we have to be balanced and talk when we talk about it. So when you are on the horse and you have the chance to wheel the line, what is it like, the prestige of actually playing at Father LaRussa Arena? What does that feel like, knowing so many other legends went before you playing there?
It's really exciting. You just get an adrenaline rush, and when the team says go, you're just off.
Now, what if they say hut or hike instead of just go?
It all translates to the same thing.
Then you're on. Game on, right?
Yep.
And off you go. Now, one thing I enjoy about the game, and I noticed that Anna's particularly good at this, but if a ball is missed and lands in the field live, everybody kind of goes crazy for it. Now, I've seen you zip over there and pick up the ball faster than most people I've seen. Are you ready to take on the likes of Kyle Stout and Brandon Locke?
I'm still a beginner, so probably not yet. I'm still working my way up, but very soon I should be.
There is a $50 bounty, by the way, on their heads, that if you beat them, and teen team of mine that beats that team wins $50, 50 real dollars. And speaking of which, we just throw it out there right now. You are both Red Star Wheels and Chairs players, are you not?
Absolutely.
Signed to the company, and you have very lucrative contracts with the company that have been, I believe, paid in full. Does that sound about right?
Yep.
So you can attest here live on camera, you know, as good Catholic people, that you would not lie, that you've actually been paid. Your contracts have been paid up through this whole year, I believe, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Very
Last
good.
night.
Been paid.
Excellent. So if we have any kind of accusations from Brandon Locke or Kyle Stout, then we can prove that that's not true because we've actually paid our players.
So if in this game, I've heard a lot about cheeking and chinging and things like that. Does that ruin your contract in any way, or is it just the scores against you?
Okay. It scores against you. It doesn't ruin your contract because our contracts are very good. But it's a little downer to you. You've got to be careful. It was hard for me at first because I was a big cheeker. And so I was...
a big cheeker? We saw more crack than downtown Detroit. That's how big this cheeking was over here.
But once you get used to it in the rules, it becomes easier not to cheek.
Okay.
And you find methods where it's easier to pick up balls without having to like stand up or get off the horse.
Okay.
Now, maybe you could explain a little bit about Ching for our parents at home or our fellow teens that don't know about Ching yet. How does Ching work, or at least what is your perception of it so far?
When you complain or make anything that sounds like complaining, you get a ching. And when you get a certain amount of chings, you have to sit out for, I believe, 1 game.
Well, very good. There's a little bit of confusion sometimes between cheeking and chings. If you get 3 cheeking calls in a game, then you must sit out of 1 play while your teammate kicks off to the other team. So it's a 2-on-1 for 1 play. And then every subsequent cheeking after that, you have to sit out for 1 play. So it doesn't go back to 3. You do 3, and then the 4th and the 5th one, whatever, you have to sit out. So it's very detrimental to have cheeking calls. Ching, on the other hand, the complaining thing, comes from a little girl having tea with her little teddy bears and things, and the sound that little teacup would make when it hits the saucer would be like a ching, you know, and the little finger goes up, and it's all dainty, because what that means is you're too weak, or you're too frail, or you're too fragile to play a gentlemanly sport like roller chair ball. So you get chinged for complaining. However, if you have a ching and then you complain about the ching, you get a double ching, which would look like this, or it might just be like this, double ching. Then, after that, if you continue, you get Ching Wah, and there's 5 degrees of black belt in Ching Wah, and then you become the Queen of Ching. Now, if you become the Queen of Ching, that's a pretty bad thing, because then, as you said, you have to sit out until the halftime of another game, and you have to quote from memory the Ode to the Queen of Ching, which is a poem that was written up in Wisconsin by the league up there. So, you know, being Ching, basically, the idea behind Ching is that you're a gentleman player, you're in a Catholic league, this is all about having fun and a good time, and if you're just here to complain and whine, you're going to be docked for that. That's basically the idea behind it. So, now, go ahead, Carrie, maybe you have a question?
Do these rules get very confusing to you? Because to me, I would kind of like to want to see them put on a 10 Commandments type tablet thing, so that I don't worry if I'm chinging or cheeking, or is it? Do you find that you get used to them as you're playing?
Oh, absolutely. In the very beginning, I was so confused. Like, he tried to explain us the rules before we went out and played. You just get, your head is all up in the clouds, you have no clue. Once you get out there, it's a little better, but it's a lot of getting used to, like any sport would be.
A lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
Good. Now, when you hear about rumors in the league about, like, say, for instance, from ROLLERCHAIRBALL Weekly, which is a very credible magazine, you hear stories of, like, Emily Latham, who is denying that she baked cookies for the league under the pseudonym Martha Stewart from the years 1975 through 1962. You know, how does it make you feel as a player to know that there are people that sort of lie, I guess would be the best word for it, about what their doings were in the early years of roller chair ball?
It's kind of weird seeing that, because normally she doesn't lie much. Seems a bit out of character.
And yet she's pictured here with cookies very clearly, and she says she's never baked cookies for the league. So, I mean, you know, the photographic evidence contradicts the actual, you know, complaints or whatever, her protestations, so to say. So I have to wonder. And then, for instance, Cole Dorsey and Evan Pfeiffer, whatever his name is, they're too scared to even show up and play, apparently, because they're afraid to lose to an all-girls team.
Oh.
Where's the gentlemanliness in that?
Ooh.
Maybe, Anna, you could answer that as a woman on one of the all-girls teams.
There were threats that week. We proved our strength, and for them not to show up, I guess it's like them cowering down without us even winning. It would have been nice for our team to be able to actually beat them. We know we could do it, but not getting to show it kind of went down. But we still got to win because they didn't show up.
It's one for the W column, you know. Well, I think we better take a quick break.
Okay.
And we will be back shortly. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the Tropic Thunder Trophy, which Anna and her team won, and a little bit more about the all-guys sport of roller chair ball. We'll be back after this.
Them one of them.
Oh, there. Oh,
Good chair, good chair.
Settle down now. Settle down.
And we're back. Carrie, maybe bring us into this particular section of the...
Okay, we're back with the True Life Teen Podcast. Tonight we're talking about roller chair ball and what the heck is it and what are the rules and all these chings and changs and cheeking and all these things that me as a newcomer I'm just trying to ponder it and figure it out. So what is this? What is this? What is that you have?
Well, in roller chair ball, traditionally there are trophies that are awarded. We have our own version of the Stanley Cup, which is called Sylvia's Lamp.
Okay.
And the story behind Sylvia's Lamp, which is legend, of course, but is true, is that the original group of Founding Fathers and me, Founding Fathers plus Mike, were playing the game, and we needed some reason to aspire to, something higher and more greater than ourselves, which was hard to find. So we were digging around in the basement at St. Francis de Sales Church, and we came across an old broken down lamp. So being a league blacksmith myself, I took the lamp apart and kind of reconfigured a few things on it. Took a wonderful hoof that had come off of one of the, a shoe that had come off of one of the horses, stuck it in the top of the lamp, and all of a sudden, it's like right when I did it, it was like a bolt of lightning, and there was a glow off of it, and it was declared that this would be the roller chair ball, basically Stanley Cup, because we didn't have a better term for it at the time. So we're all playing the game the next day, and in walks the lady that was the janitor there at St. Francis de Sales Church. Her name was Sylvia. And she walked in, she was like an older African-American lady, and she just stood there stunned and stared at this wonderful trophy we built. And we all thought she was just, you know, blown away by its beauty and its specter and its awe, you know. But basically, she uttered the words, "That's my lamp." And so we were like, oh crap, we took Sylvia's lamp and we destroyed Sylvia's lamp. But the thing was, it was broken anyway to begin with, and it was just sitting on a bench somewhere to be fixed. So we were like really worried because we thought we destroyed a piece of property that belonged to someone else, which would not be a very Catholic thing to do. And then she let us off the hook by laughing, saying, oh, I'm just kidding, it's been broken for years. So we all kind of laughed about it, but then we realized it was Sylvia's lamp. So the Stanley Cup of roller chair ball trophies is Sylvia's lamp. Now, Sylvia's lamp is currently in the possession of Brandon Locke from B-Lock Apparel, and that's a tragedy. It can't just be taken, it can't be stolen, it has to be won. And he's taken it and stolen it for years, and he has it hidden away in some sort of, you know, sealed mayonnaise jar thing in his basement or something weird. And it's really hard to find it. So someday we're going to try to get him to bring it back here to St. Joan where we can play for it. But In the meantime, to make a long story even longer, when I was employed to go to Wisconsin by the Roller Chairball Association to start a league up there, obviously we couldn't take Sylvia's lamp because that was the Stanley Cup for down here. So what was created, which is in your Roller Chairball Weekly, there's a nice picture of Sylvia's other lamp. So Sylvia's other lamp became like, it's beautiful. It has a little angel on it. It's got 3 or 4 wheels. It's a gorgeous lamp, and it's about yay big too. It's very huge. It's the biggest of all the Roller Chairball trophies. So Sylvia's other lamp became exactly what they would fight for and play for up in Wisconsin. Then, when I came back to Central Ohio to start the league up at St. Michael's Catholic Church on High Street, we had a third one, which was Sylvia's other lamp.
Okay.
So those were the 3 trophies that were created before time and in the bowels of the earth by league blacksmiths, and were became like legendary in their desire and their want.
So this is the original, not O squared or O.
That's right. So those are the original 3. Now, Sylvia had 2 twin daughters, and they both built lamps. So the one that we have here is the one that's been saved through the years by the Roller Chairball League, and we do play for this one here at St. Joan of Arc. It is our Stanley Cup for St. Joan of Arc. However, the Black Henchman stole its twin, and it is hidden, supposedly the legend is it's hidden somewhere in plain sight on the church grounds here, and if it's ever found and the 2 are ever brought back together again, something magical is supposed to happen, and we're not really sure what.
I just had a thought. I mean, could it be the rapture? Where we've been told all of our lives that we don't believe in the rapture? Maybe they put it together and then we get...
And then the rapture happens?
Yeah.
I don't know, but this is one thing I do know for sure, Carrie, is that Roller Chairball has come to St. Joan of Arc Parish in the year 2011, and we all know the Aztec calendar ends in 2012. So, it could be that Sylvia's twin's other lamp may be found sometime in the near future. The 2 might be brought together, and it could be, you know, the cataclysmic event we've been waiting for. But how do you guys feel as young players, knowing that the world could end very easily if Sylvia's daughter's other lamp is found?
Well, if it was meant to end, we'll find the lamp. Enough said.
Anna, you're also holding a fine trophy there. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
This is the Tropic Thunder. It's for the team that worked together the best and had the best victory of the night. Me and my partner Rima, who couldn't be here, we won it last night.
Rima's from Calcutta, I believe it is? India? Or
That's Bosnia.
Bosnia, that's right.
Something
I
like
heard
that.
Florida.
I heard Georgia.
Georgia.
Next to Alabama, yes. That's what it was.
Okay.
So you were saying?
Yep, we won this one. We were up against 2 gentlemen who decided that women were inferior and couldn't beat them. Well, we did. So the press corps voted. They always get the vote who receives it. And for this week, they voted us to have it. And then next week when we play again, I will bring it back near Rima. And it'll be up for grabs again.
Very good. Now this is the Tropic Thunder Trophy. It has nothing to do with Dave Vermillion and Tropic Depression, the team that existed in Newark, does it by any chance? Because they always lost.
I don't believe so, but it could.
Okay.
So Anna, you trumped the notion that women are inferior.
Yes, I think by proving with our victory, I think it proved that women are just as strong. Now, there were some rumors last week that I was secretly a male, but I'm denying those on camera. I'm not secretly a male, and we are both women, and we did win.
I've also heard some other rumors, if you may, or if I may. You're not in love with Donald Trump. You're in love with
Fidel Castro.
Fidel Castro. How did that come about?
There are rumors that he is my foster father. He, of course, is the dictator of Cuba. There are rumors that I grew up with him, and I owe all my victories and all my success in roller chairball to him. Now, this week, they've come out with new rumors that I'm in love with him. I am indeed not in love with him. I'm in love with another guy who shall name unmentioned.
Okay, but if you make the money from your lucrative contract with Red Star Wheels and Chairs, is Castro going to come after you in a court of law on American soil, or would he try to have you brought back, extradited, I guess is the word, to Cuba?
You never know with him. He can pull a lot of strings being so high up. So I just gotta watch my back, and hopefully everything will be okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Good deal. Well, we did see last week in Rollerchairball Weekly that Charlie Barger has been shooting up with the steroids, and that's kind of a tragic thing. Claire was very clear about standing by her man anyway, even though, you know, it's obvious that, I mean, the guy bulked up way too fast. And then this week, Rollerchairball Weekly is saying that his muscles were too big to even play, that he can't even fit on a horse anymore. I didn't know if you guys had seen any physical evidence of that particular rumor, or if that was just yellow journalism as par for the course.
I haven't seen anything, but they have bulked up pretty fast. So.
How about raging? Does he rage when he gets on the horse?
See, I haven't seen him play yet.
Oh.
Too big a muscles.
That would be a good indication.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, your teammate, Luke, the ox, not the man, apparently Luke, oh, we're running out of tape of it. Apparently Luke has a problem with heroin that you might want to clarify before we end this particular episode.
I would like to state that he and I are not addicted to any drugs, any alcohol substance, any illegal beverage or substance.
Oh, illegal. So you might be addicted to something legal.
He might.
Okay, all right. Just want to clarify there.
Licorice?
Oh. Well, is he
Are
addicted
you addicted to licorice?
Oh, no.
Is he addicted to licorice? Because they say the red dye in here can make somebody kind of crazy, not balanced, and...
I haven't seen him go crazy with licorice.
We'll have
And he
to see
seems
who's
pretty
eating all
balanced.
those bags then.
He has some. I don't think he goes crazy with it. Those are other people.
Very good. Well, I'd like to thank you guys for being our guests this week on Rollerchairball Weekly TV. And I think I'm going to go over here and turn the camera toward Carrie, and maybe you can have a few final thoughts about being Catholic and playing the gentlemanly sport of rollerchairball.
I would like to thank you. I definitely learned a lot about the virtues of rollerchairball. And we have to be truthful. We have to be kind and loving and being a good sportswoman or sportsmanship. Sportsmanship, is that even a word?
Gentlemanly.
Gentlemanly. And until next week, until we can get our game together, we're going to sign off and say God bless you, God be with you, and may the Holy Spirit consume you.
And now I'm going to offer a 50-cent reward for anyone who could tell me what Carrie's not wearing that she would need for her to be a legal rollerchairball player. There are 3 pieces of equipment she'd need, and I'm going to give a peso to the first person who sends an email to herringbone777@live.com telling me what pieces of equipment she's missing and what she doesn't have on. Thank you, and we'll talk to you next week. God bless.
You can be the one, the light and shining sun. Let Jesus be your guide, your #1 provide, and the twinkle in your eye. It's okay to cry, but keep your goal in mind, and always get back up when you're feeling strong enough.